Aloha and welcome to the Empowered Empath podcast. So, today I'm going to be doing a full moon report, and we're also going to be talking about the energy that's going on throughout July because it's really starting with this. Actually, it really started a little bit ago, but some things that I think that you are going to find important. And also, for those of you who have been listeners for a while, I want to talk about my website, Keys to the Spirit World. It's completely being redone. A lot of my stuff is being redone right now. It's not entirely done at the moment, but you are going to find a lot of cool info over there very soon. I'm going to have some meditations on there. I've been blog posting, and there'll be new blog posts happening quite a bit. And there will be a free ebook that you can get, a free meditation that you can get, a lot of really, really cool stuff. Also, that's where you can find out information on all my classes. We're just kind of trying to streamline things into one hub, which really kind of relates to this energy that's happening right now. So let's get started with that. On this full moon energy, actually, again, it started a little bit ago. There's a lot of transformation happening, and I guess if I wanted to sum it up really well, it would be to release, simplify, and opportunity. Those are the three words that I think really sum up this energy really pretty good. What's started happening a little bit ago was dreams started to be more prominent for most people, because when the high frequency energy raises, then dreams start becoming more clear, especially if your vibration is on the higher side. Dreams will become more clear, they'll become abundant. However, that's not always fun necessarily, because that's also a window into your spiritual self and to your energetic system. And so when you couple that with lunar energy that is really pulling from past situations, past lives, and things of that nature, and has a certain theme to it, fears would be this one, then it really can pull and amplify that energy in the body, which then comes through dreams many times. So what had started happening a few weeks ago was people's fears of any kind, ones that they've had in this lifetime and other lifetimes, really began to come to the surface, because with this high frequency energy, it tuned into some stuff going on, and then with the lunar combination, it really is pulling fears to the surface, not just to make you upset or ruin your day, but rather to really give you the opportunity to address them. And when these things start coming through dreams, it's really a good way to go, okay, I get that I am struggling with this from an energetic standpoint. I'm obviously ignoring it because it's being shown to me over and over again. So, or maybe just once, but it's being shown to me. And so I'm going to take the opportunity to kind of pull the layers back on this a little bit and see if I can resolve this. The situation with that a lot of people don't think about is our energetic system is like a story. It's telling a story about your place energetically at the moment, your energetic environment, but it's also telling a story of some of the energy that you from past situations and stuff. So your energetic system has this story it's telling, and it's gathering the story parts by events and situations that you've been having in your life, but also with current and then future stuff. However, a lot of times that story doesn't necessarily explain something just super awesome, because some of the things that we hold on to energetically, it's easier to, and we sort of obsess about it and we worry about it, is different fears and worries that we have. So when you are stressed, worried, or fearful, concerned, upset, any of those things, that just that emotion, just imagine it like Velcro. It's just, it will hold on to your energetic system for dear life. Just purely having that emotion. Because it's not allowing it to release out of your story or out of your energetic system, out of your body. And so that can cause you an array of problems as far as how you feel, but also how you manifest. Because when you're Velcroing all these fears and worries to your energetic body and to your energetic environment, what happens? Like attracts like, the whole drill. That will be what you're kind of putting out there from an energetic standpoint. Then you're like, I knew it. I knew this was going to happen. How did this? I just knew it. It's not necessarily your intuition, which is the first thing you want to go, I knew it was going to happen. But it's also your manifestation skills when you're vibrationally, having a very high frequency. So these are things that you really want to be aware of. Anyways, so if you're finding that for the last, few weeks, there's a lot of fears and worries that are sort of coming to the surface and you might be dreaming about them or whatnot, that's a very good sign for you to address them. But it's also is an opportunity for you to address them. Because again, like I said, a lot of times we ignore. We're fine. The stressors aren't bothering us. We're handling this just great. We act all cool about everything. And your energetic body's like, nope. You can put on this brave face to everybody else, even yourself. But we know the truth. It's Velcroed in here. So releasing fears is going to be really important, at least addressing them. You need to find a way that the fear is not so scary anymore. The worry is not so scary anymore. You need to find a way to come to terms with that and allow the vibration of that energy to just release from the body. Because when you start coming to terms with something that may have worried you and you're like, you know what, truthfully, what's the worst that can happen here? Seriously. I mean, I'll be fine. I'll do this. I'll do that. Like really, in the grand scheme of things, it's not the worst thing that can happen. Once you start doing that, the little Velcro stuff starts to loosen. You begin to release it. You're no longer obsessing it and hoarding that energy, that vibration. You're now just like, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. And you're letting it go, which is it's actually on the full moon card pull I did that I'll be putting in the Facebook group and some of my other social media stuff if you follow that. I pulled 3 cards, and the first one is, what do you need to release? Yep. The second one is, it's time to release negativity. And the third one is step out of your comfort zone, which we're going to be getting to. But yes, now is the time to figure out what you need to release. And I highly doubt that there's anybody that's going to be listening to this that doesn't have something that they need to release. If you're human, it's a humanistic quality. We tend to Velcro some stuff in. So you really want to work on what it is that you need to release. And you really want to understand and pay attention to any of those things that are bringing any type of negativity, any negativity that you're holding on to, anything that just really doesn't feel good, any negative emotion, any negative thoughts, any negative things you are saying to yourself and to others. You really, really want to put a stop to that right now, because there is some really cool, powerful manifesting energy going on. You don't want to couple that with powerful, cool manifesting energy. Just not what you want to do, okay? So you don't want to do that. So first, you want to really kind of do a self-check. What am I worried about? Even if you haven't been dreaming about it. What am I worried about? What are my fears? In fact, I would take your spirit journal and write down any fears or worries, any and all of them. Like, I don't care if there's 2, 3, or 15. Kind of start writing them down so that you can see, because when you start writing things down, it gives it more of a physical aspect to it instead of being just energetic. Once you put pen to paper, it shifts the energy to physical. So that's actually a trick that I teach people in some of my classes, my spirit classes. So you will want to write it down so that you can visually see, because a lot of times that'll help you sort through it, and then come to some type of resolve. And you might be able to just resolve it on paper, burn it, whatever you want to do, if you want to do like a full moon ceremony thing. But that's where you want to start. The next thing that's really amplified with this full moon energy is old patterns and habits. You're going to find that a lot of old patterns, habits, and systems that you have currently in place will start to annoy you, frustrate you, and just irritate you. They'll just energetically feel weird. They'll feel off. They'll feel like they're just aggravating because the system isn't working no more. They'll feel cluttered. They won't feel the same. It won't feel like this nice system that you have in place. So you're going to want to address any of those old habits, patterns, or systems. And they can even be behavior patterns. They don't have to just be like physical things that you're doing like in an office or your home or whatever. But they can be emotional. They can be systematic as far as like what routines that you have. But releasing old habits and patterns is going to be really important right now. Anything that you find is not working for you, if you want to move forward kind of more flawlessly and really kind of get on this success wave that's coming, you want to just switch your old habits and patterns. Because as I need to do another podcast on this, and I will. I'm just going to mention it now. I'm going to be doing another podcast on ascension energy, ascension signs, because I've been asked about it a lot. And so I will do something on that. And the basis of that, too, is the earth energy, people energy, the spiritual energy is raising. And we've talked about that over many podcasts. It's shifting, it's changing. It's not the same now as it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, whatever. But a lot of the systems and habits you've put in place are typically from years ago, right? They're just ones that you've developed and they seem to be working for you. And when you have a system that's working for you, it's just a lot of work to change it, and then it's overwhelming and all that. And so when we're really moving into this higher frequency energy, and we're going to continue to do that. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter how you look at it, but just imagine the scale is constantly going up, like at an angle. It's going up towards the sky, this frequency energy. It's constantly moving in an upwards direction. It's raising every year, every minute, every week, right? And so as it's raising, the frequency of your old systems and habits and patterns, it's not going to match. So unless you want to stay weighted as that frequency is going upwards on a scale, you will stay weighted. But unless you want to, you're going to want to release that, because it's going to make you move up the scale easier. Imagine it like if you were scaling a mountain or a hill or something, and it will be the difference between throwing a backpack on, like let's say you have old fears, weights, and things like that. For every one of them, imagine putting like a 5-pound rock in a backpack. And the more rocks you have in that backpack, the more tired you're going to be trying to scale. You're going to have to stop, take breaks. You're just not going to make ground the way you will if you just be like, you know what, I don't want this backpack, and I don't want the boulders in it. Those boulders up the hill. So I'll just leave this here, and I think I'll just make it without it. So just that's what happens energetically. You become weighted. When you energetically become weighted, your frequency will not move the same way, or it can't raise at the same scale that you have the opportunity to, or would probably even want to. So you stay weighted, and that causes a lot of issues. So you're going to want to, if any old systems, habits, and patterns are not suiting you anymore, they're making you irritated, whatever, you're going to want to rework it. Make a new one. And the interesting thing is, this new shift and wave is all about simplicity. This is a very simplifying energy, which is kind of awesome, because I don't see that often, where all the processes the energetic shift is wanting and needing and requiring you to simplify your processes, make things less complicated, make things easier. There are easier ways to do a lot of the stuff that you've been doing right now. And if you think about it, you'll figure it out, because that's what's sort of coming to light with this full moon energy is things need to be simpler. Everything just needs to be simpler, which means you don't want to overthink everything as you're doing these new systems. Overthinking is going to be a tendency of what you're going to want to do right now in everything. Overthinking your emotions, overthinking your relationships, your work, your life, overthinking situations. Don't even bother overthinking things, because it's just not worth the energy at this moment in time. So if you're struggling with something right now that you're overthinking, table it. Figure out how to simplify it. Figure out how to make it the boulder that you take out of the backpack. Let it go, because there's a lot of mountains being made out of molehills at this point in time. So with this energy, don't fall into that trap. Allow everything to be simplified and stop overthinking anything, because it will be something you'll want to do, but you will feel like you shouldn't. But with, again, that humanistic part of us that just, that's what we do, it'll just be like, oh yeah, but no, you haven't thought this through. So don't overthink things right now in anything that's going on with your life. Just table it and wait, because you'll find that if you table it, it's probably going to dissipate anyways. Now is also the time for restructuring. Restructuring will be what we've sort of been talking about when you're putting new systems in place and you're simplifying things. Restructuring your daily life stuff is going to be really important right now. And what I mean by that is, you might be moving one closet to another closet. You might be, I'm just doing like house things. You might be like cleaning an area that you haven't cleaned before, getting rid of old junk, restructuring, I don't know, relationships, money, restructuring how you do your money, restructuring how you want to see money coming in. That's a really big one right now. That would be something that I would really take the opportunity to work with during this full moon energy, is really working with your money energy. That is it's a very good time to be doing that with this particular full moon. Not all, I mean, all full moons are good, right? But for this particular full moon, restructuring your money energy is huge. If you don't learn to restructure money energy at this moment in time, what will happen a lot of times is you will still feel stuck, probably weighted with your money energy, worried with your money energy, looking for opportunity right now to restructure your money. If you just kind of sit down and look, like almost like it's a contest, how can I make this better? How can I make this easier? How can I add a little bit more income? If you just put a little effort into the restructuring, all of a sudden you're going to just see money energy flowing with ease. This restructuring and money energy, it's really working well together right now with this particular full moon. It's working wonderfully. I'm just, before I get into the next part, which is opportunities that we're going to be talking about, I have recently restructured my money energy, and a lot of stuff just started falling into the place like better than I had expected. I have started releasing old habits and patterns as far as business goes. I've been working on that and simplifying everything, and it's truly making things flow different. I can just feel the whole system's just feeling nicer, just feeling more powerful, feeling easier. It's really awesome, But what also comes along with this is the third card I pulled. We had, what do you need to release? It's time to release negativity, and also stepping out of your comfort zone. That seriously caused me to step out of my comfort zone, which is bringing us to the opportunities part. Opportunities are very abundant with this moon, but there are two things that you need to know about it. One is opportunities are probably right there for you on some things that you've put on the back burner. So when it comes to success, career, drive, money, that sort of thing, there's some opportunities that are coming along with this energy, and it's good to kind of revisit. Have you put anything on the back burner as far as opportunities? I'll do that later. I'll look into that later. I'll try it later. Like it seems overwhelming, because that's usually why you put it on the back burner, is you're feeling like weighted and overwhelmed, and oh my gosh, I have all this, I have all this stuff I got to do. I'll try it later. Well, if you're going to try it later, now's a good later time. It's a really good later time, because the universal energy, the lunar energy, it's all really backing you as far as opportunities, revisiting opportunities you put on the back burner. But this also requires you to step out of your comfort zone, especially if you're sensitive. Because the way that the energy is structured, it's kind of outside your current bubble. And so you will want to dip a toe outside your bubble and move forward and really step out of your comfort zone. So if there's anything that you maybe have been really wanting to do and you need to step out of your comfort zone to do it, and you put it on the back burner, I'm just going to let you go ahead and say, here's your sign. You've been listening to it on the podcast. It's in the air. And what do you got to lose, right? I mean, put your fears aside and see what can happen, see what opportunities can happen. And if it does scare you, you better go through your fears list and try to resolve that first, so you're not moving forward with that fear velcroed in. And so it's a fantastic time to step out of your comfort zone. In fact, many people who are listening are probably actually feeling the urge to step out of their comfort zone. You may have noticed it, you may not notice it, but a lot of people will definitely have been feeling the urge to step out of their comfort zone, because this is what's really going on right now. So that is the energy report, this full moon energy report. Like I said, I will be posting these cards up on some of my social media sites. I would love for you to subscribe, comment below, let me know if you find this helpful. And if you're wanting to learn more or check out my spirit blog stuff that's been posted on the website, or just keep checking in, because I'm going to try to be posting new blog posts in there every week. So it's a good thing to check in, and you'll see my old systems going away and my new systems being put in place over the next several weeks here, if you're one to be checking in at thekeystothespiritworld.com. So this is a great time. It's a really fantastic time to be paying attention to the fears that you've been ignoring, and releasing those old habits and patterns, and letting go of old systems, simplifying everything, restructuring stuff, and really look at opportunities you've put on the back burner, but also opportunities that you potentially have if you just step out of your comfort zone. So it's a fantastic time right now, and I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see how you do with that. Have the most amazing day. Aloha.